السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. مرحبا بكم في حلقة جديدة من هيتمان الجزء الثالث. حسنا، الآن سوف نبدأ المهمة الثانية. يبدو أنها ستكون في قصر أو شيء من هذا القبيل. وستكون في الغابة. من هذا؟
Carlyle's lost an empire.
Carlyle's.
You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
بطبيعة الحال.
Are you?
دائما.
Who will you be without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead, according to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant, information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her three adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
حسناً، على حسب ما فهمت سيكون أول ضحيتنا هو المحقق، لأننا سنلعب دور المحقق في هذه المهمة. هذا هو الضحية الأولى.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself.
وكلته لكي يتحرى. إذن ليست هي القاتلة.
A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlyle.
بطبيعة الحال سوف نأخذ مكانه. كاد يروني. لكن كيف سأنقض عليه؟ إنه ثقيل جدا. حسنا، سوف نتسلق من هنا إذن. أوه، هنالك حراس في جميع الأماكن. أنا قادم. هذا الحارس هنا، هل علي قتله؟ أنا سيدخل المنزل، لكن كيف سألحق به؟ النوافذ. هنالك نافذة محلولة.
Oh, by the way, I told Kate about this text.
What did she say?
Well, I thought she'd be mad at me, but she just thanked me. Said she understood the position I was in. We had a really good talk about it.
So, I just need to chat.
That's a bit excessive.
She's a sensible woman.
Considering the fact that I spotted no
نافذة مفتوحة هنا، هذا جيد.
We know what we're doing.
I guess I thought she was going to read into them and freak out. Say I must have
هل
done
سيدخل؟
something to provoke her.
Shit, man. Caroline really did a number on you.
نعم، لقد دخل. هو ذا. هو تبا، لا قادم. مهلا، هل رآني أحد؟ هي السيدة إذا. لكن كيف؟ هذا يجري.
Thanked me, said she understood the position I was in. We had a really good talk about it.
So, I just need to chat.
That's a bit excessive.
She's a sensible woman.
Considering the fact that I spotted no less than 2 weeks to get inside the house, unseen.
We know what we're doing.
I guess I thought she was going to read into them and freak out. Say I must have done something to provoke her.
Shit, man. Caroline really did a number on you.
مسكنا به إذن. هذا جيد.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us and I need a quick resolution.
سيكون علي قتلها فيما بعد على ما أظن. هنالك حراس كثيرون.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene
علي التحري على
half the
الأدلة.
job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madam Carlyle has asked me to assist you in
كبير
any way
القدم.
possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've travelled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr.
لا
Zacharys'
أفضل البدء
sleeping
الآن.
quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me,
لدينا
sir.
العديد من الأدلة لجمعها. المشكلة المتهمون الرئيسيون قد صرحت بأن لديها 3 أبناء. يكون هنالك عناصر آخرون من العائلة لم نعرفهم بعد.
You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madam's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with me.
الراسم في كل مكان.
By the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this.
ماذا؟
The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning.
وجد ميتا في بيته.
And a suicide letter was found in his room.
الباب مغلق من الداخل ووجدت هنالك رسالة إذن.
I will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you. So please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room. To my right.
A locked room murder mystery 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
الحاسوب.
Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night.
كان
Not
يشتري
exactly what you would
حذاء.
expect from someone suicidal.
على ما يبدو لم يكن هذا انتحارا.
Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time.
نلقي نظرة على الخريطة. الآن هنالك 3 طبقات. الطابق الأرضي. إذا أن الطابق الأرضي سوف نحتاج إلى التقاط صورة هنا وهنا وهنا أيضا هنا. الطابق الأول صورة هنا وهنا. الطابق الثاني نحتاج إلى الطابق الثاني على ما يبدو والثالث أيضا. حسنا، الآن سوف ننتهي من الطابق الأول. سأتجه إلى هذا المكان.
Time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
باب مقفل. واو. سنجد طريقا ما للدخول إذن. سكين قد نحتاجه. نافذة مفتوحة. هذا جيد. لا. حسنا، نفذ الغرض. أتمنى أن تكون هنالك نافذة مفتوحة. لقد وصلنا. جيد. سكين آخر.
A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Madame Carlisle's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. There's no family without secrets, 47. But this family seemed to outdo most.
علي التقاط صورة ما هنا. ها هي دي. على ما يبدو لا يوجد شيء هنا، فقط الصورة وشيء ما هنا قد فتح، لكن من من؟ ما هذا؟ لا شيء. حسنا، انتهينا من هذا البيت. نلقي نظرة على الخريطة. الآن علينا الذهاب إلى هذا البيت. هذا يسهل الأمر كثيرا، لأن المنزل كبير جدا. في كل مرة علي النظر إلى الخريطة. لا تبا، مقفول أيضا. هل هنالك ممر سري؟ نافذة مفتوحة. هذا كل ما أحتاج إليه إذن. تبا. جيد. ها هي دي نافذة مفتوحة أخرى. صراحة أحب هذا النوع من المهام، ليس فقط القتل، ولكن أتمنى أن لا تكون صعبة وغامضة أكثر من اللازم. أنا لا التقاط صورة فقط هنا. صورة لمن؟ تمارين. وغرفة غير مرتبة. إذن هذا هو الابن الأصغر. إذن ليس هنالك شيء نحتاجه على ما يبدو. صورة هنا. ما هذه؟ ممر سري.
I need to get a listing of asset transfers from the Carlisle account.
حسنا، لن نحتاج إلى الدخول هناك. يبدو أننا انتهينا من هذا الطابق. جميع الأشياء واضحة على ما يبدو. سوف نذهب إلى الطابق الأسفل. حسنا، من أين سنبدأ؟ ليس بعد. مهلا. لا نستطيع فتحها، وليس لدي أداة لذلك. هذا سيء جدا. سيف. صورة هنا. حسنا. آسف. جيد. ما هذا؟
Yes, hi Cassie, it's me again.
لا نحتاجه.
I know I'm not supposed to leave you messages, and this is the last time, I promise.
ما الذي يقوله؟
Just, I don't know how to handle this whole situation. I don't think I can really. I can't feel my legs, and my eyes are not working properly. This flicker thing again.
هل يتحدث إلى الطبيب؟
You can't tell anyone. But the thing is, I've been asked before to use it at the funeral.
أريد فقط شيئا نحتاجه، لكن ليس يوجد. على ما يبدو لا يوجد شيء. هذا كل شيء. شيء ما بالخارج. شيء ما. أثر أقدام. جيد. أعتقد أنني سأكلم كبير الخدم. هذا إن لم يكن هنالك شيء أقوم به. صورة هنا. لم ألاحظ هذا.
Strange.
جيد. كل الأمور عادية هنا. هو ده.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff
مات بالعاشرة ليلا.
And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here is the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their
أول شيء فعله قد استبعد نفسه وأعطانا مكان وجوده.
Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Make sure you focus on your work.
I will.
I don't need one more maid crying in the kitchen.
Patrick Carlyle.
So watch yourself around.
Can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out.
هذا كل شيء.
Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him, then suddenly he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy Joe's looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it?
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
الأدلة التي وجدناها. ما هذا؟ مكان فيه ورود. الشخص الذي قتلناه. حسنا.
Hey, how you doing?
جيد، أشكرك.
Can't you just relax for a minute?
من هذا؟ الشخص الثاني.
Why do you think he's here?
I think solicitors are Mother's favorite kind of people. Can't remember ever having a family event without one tucked away in a room somewhere. Due diligence always trumped the family.
I think he's here to cut us from her will.
Very ridiculous. Imagine a scandal if the firstborn son didn't pick up the torch. That will never happen.
Emma Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to know?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Yeah.
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong
ما زالت محطة شكوك. لكن هذه لماذا استبعدوها أم ماذا؟
Gregory Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate intellect?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants. Mother travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that all?
No.
Not anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death.
No,
you know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
إنه يشك بالمرأة العجوز. النار هذه.
Rebecca Carlisle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange.
إما
You know, I bet she was
حتى أنها لم تعطينا مبررا لغيابها أو أين كانت. ليس لدينا دليل.
Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there
anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much.
حسناً.
Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to.
ممكن نظرة أيضا. هذا كبير الخدم. يبدو أننا استجوبنا الجميع. هذا هذا لا. لكن أين هو؟ لابد أنه هناك لأنها كان قرب البيانو.
Beautiful. Wow.
نعم إنه هنا. مرحبا.
That's a little too close.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'd never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all, I have a speak.
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. Anything else I can do to help?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have a strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
ثلاثة مستبعدين. هي اثنان. باتريك. هذا غريب. ممكن نظرة على خريطة. سوف نذهب إلى الأماكن الصغيرة جدا. نذهب إلى هذا المكان أيضا. نبدأ به. ربما نجد شيئا. قد يكون شيء هنا. ما هذا؟ حسنا، قد نحتاج شيئا من هذه. جيد. نحتاجها لإلهاء شخص ما. كنا هنا.
I stopped thinking about Emma all the time, but she just makes me so angry.
What is it now?
She turned up and demanded to be put up in Madame Carlyle's bedroom. We're the new heads of the family.
ماذا بها؟
It is only fitting, she said.
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick. We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning.
هذه صديقة
He said he
باتريك.
needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot. That's what he is.
But he was such a gentleman. He gave me his coat and all.
Rosie, you need to forget about Patrick. No good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own kind.
You mean like Chris? He treated me like shit. All he wanted to do was play his stupid video games, never any romance. I deserve romance. Hello there.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any
تحتاج إلى
strangers
رومانسية
outside
إذن.
the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlyle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
أعتقد أن هذا كل شيء.
Did all the groceries arrive? I heard some of the delivery people were unhappy with the security at the gate.
ليس هنالك شيء نحتاجه في هذا المكان. ما هذه؟ قد نحتاجها فيما بعد. حسنا، الآن سوف نخرج إلى الخارج. سوف نقوم بجولة قليلة قرب المنزل. أقصد جولة صغيرة، لكن هنالك مكان ما علي التقاط صورة له. ما هذا المكان؟ حديقة. السكيورتي في كل مكان.
Security detail at a staged funeral event tomorrow. That'll be a first for me.
I hope I can keep a straight face.
التابوت.
Something bad must have happened to Madame Carlyle. The great woman.
Hello, sir.
مرحبا.
I doubt that's true, though. No, he was here when the safe in Madame Carlyle's office was repaired last week. He had to carry some heavy bolt to the top floor. He complained about back pain for the entire weekend.
A safe in Madame Carlyle's office. I bet that's where she keeps the file on Arthur Edwards.
Seriously, Denton? What a knob.
إذن هناك تحتفظ بالملفات التي سنحتاجها، لكنني أحتاج شيئا آخر. زورق. هذا هو المكان الذي يوجد به الأزهار. ما هذا؟
But he was upset believing his sister was dead.
I'd say worried about how things will be handled with Gregory and Emma taking over.
شيء هنا. لا أعتقد أننا سنحتاج كل هذا. فلنلقي نظرة على ما نملك. فقط أسلحة. لا أستطيع فتحها أيضا. مهلا. أحتاج هذه. أين سأجدها؟ علي البحث عنها. هناك شيء هنا. بقص. لا، ليس هو المطلوب. ذلك مشكل إذن. علي البحث عن ذلك المفتاح الحديدي. سيكون هو المفتاح الرئيسي لهذه القصة أو هذه القضية. هنا عساي أجده. المشكلة أن هنالك باب آخر سوف نحتاجه لكي نفتحها على ما أعتقد. سوف نذهب من جهة الخدم. لا، ليس من هنا. قد يكون في مكان ما بهذا الجوار.
And that detective asked to come
قد يكون هنا.
Madam Carlyle must believe Zachary was murdered. Why else ask him to stick around? I'm weak in my knees from all the tension here.
Don't worry, sure everything will settle down.
So 41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow. There's still a lot to see to, but we're in good time, I think.
Okay, that is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
أعلم ذلك، لكن علينا البحث في مكان ما. مهلا، ما هذا المكان؟ بعيد قليلا، لكن سنذهب إليه وربما يكون شيء هناك. إنه ذلك المكان هناك. أتمنى أن نجد شيئا على الأقل.
Madam Carlyle wants to inspect the arrangements for the staged funeral tomorrow. What's the delay?
It's the birds. They're making a racket.
Hi there.
Everywhere.
أهلا. ما هذا؟ هو أخيرا، لكن علي إخفاؤه. حسنا، لا شيء هنا. سيدفن هنا إذن. الآن علي العودة إلى ذلك المزهرية هناك.
I will never again meet someone like Zachary. I can't bear to think what will happen.
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
قد نحتاجها. هي ذي.
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to
إذن هنا قاموا بصناعة
Something
السم.
is circled 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlyle is next in line for a poisoning. You have uncovered enough evidence to tell Madame Carlyle that Emma is the murderer.
Madame Carlyle.
Quite the detective, 47. I'm impressed. I suggest you go tell Mr. Fernsby.
قد حصلنا
Unless
على
you
ما
think there
نريده
are more
إذن.
secrets to uncover.
الذي يفعله.
Ask her out. Get to know. Do you mind? I need to be left alone, okay?
حسنا. آسف. الآن سوف نعود إلى ذلك البيت المقفل والغرفة المقفلة.
Excuse me?
آسف. لا، أنا في المكان الخطأ.
Patrick token to Madame Carlyle's daughter.
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions.
ماذا
Who had the
يتحدث؟
other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Of course.
هذا لا يهم، على الأقل لقد اكتشفنا من هو القاتل. الآن علينا البحث عن الدليل على ما أعتقد. المشكلة هو أين هو ذلك البيت أو تلك الغرفة. تكون من جهة الخدم. أنا ما أعتقد هذه الجهة. تبا إنه منزل كبير. إن هذه الجهة أيضا.
How are things coming along inside? Is everything ready for tomorrow?
I can't deal with all this pretend funerals.
جيد.
Stuff just now. I know I have.
ما هذا؟ مفتاح. عصا.
Zachary's
شيء
diary.
حرق.
This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself.
Painkillers. Lethal if you use enough of them.
But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlyle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47? Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings.
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well.
Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
انتهت المهمة على ما أعتقد. وحصلنا على جميع الأشياء التي نريدها. كانت هنالك فقط 5 أشياء.
Greetings, sir.
Greetings, sir.
أين يذهب؟ ما الذي يفعله؟ هو الدرج المؤدي إلى الطابق العلوي. جيد.
Greetings, sir. How are you,
This
sir?
is Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47.
هي بنت داري.
Now, go claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion.
نعم.
Take a seat. Please, go ahead.
Your niece, Emma Carlyle, murdered your brother Zachary.
My niece? Emma is not my niece. She's my daughter-in-law.
لا يهم لكنها هي
Emma is
القاتلة.
the illegitimate child of your late older brother Montgomery, who you and Zachary killed 46 years ago.
That's preposterous.
You asked me to find out what happened to Zachary. Would you rather not know?
No. No, go on.
I found a letter from Emma's mother, Jane, who
رسم
was the
كريد.
fiancé of your older brother at the time of his death. She witnessed how you and Zachary pushed him off the balcony.
كيف سبقوا بقتلها؟
She believed you did it to steal the Carlyle empire from her and her unborn child. And she raised Emma to reclaim what she lost, marry your heir Gregory, get revenge, and secure the Carlyle empire for her bloodline generations to come.
Emma is the daughter of Montgomery and that local girl, Jane.
She is.
Well, the girl got it wrong. I didn't steal anything. I did what was necessary to protect the future of the Carlyles. Montgomery wasn't cut out to take over from father. All heart and no balls.
Emma used the funeral gathering to speed up her installment as the lady of the house, seizing the opportunity to stage Zachary's suicide. She did her homework, used a poison made from one of Zachary's rare plants, found old floor plans from Thornbridge Manor to gain access to his room through a secret passage.
That scheming bitch.
More than you think. I found proof that she will try to poison you next.
Well, I'll have to take care of that. Thank you, Mr. Whitmer. You have not disappointed. I promised you I would reward you generously if you solved the case. So, what do you suggest?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Edwards, the constant. But how do you... Oh, I see.
حسنا، ما زال لدينا مهمتان.
I expected you might show up.
ذلك الملف.
To kill me, not help me.
وأيضا
I've been
قتلها.
wrong on so many things lately, so why not this one? I will give you the file on Edwards. You've earned it.
أجل.
I don't suppose I could convince you to deal with my daughter-in-law now you're here. I would like to see her dead. No? What a shame. I'll have to see to it some other way then.
أوه.
The file you want is in the safe. God, I hope you get Edwards and make him hurt. I need some privacy. Thank you.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlyle.
علي قتلها بشيء حاد، قد يكون سكين. حسنا، نحاول بهذا. جيد.
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
الذي يجري. حسنا انتهى الأمر. فلنخرج من هنا. هذه مهمة شيقة ورائعة. أوه تبا قد وجدوها. قد وجدوا الجثة. هذا سيء جدا.
I do like reading.
Really?
I like reading too. I read all the time.
أتمنى أن لا يكون هنالك مشكل آخر. ما الذي يجري؟ أخيرا خرجنا من هذا المنزل. حسنا يبدو أننا قد أتممنا المهمة بنجاح. حسنا إذا هذه هي المهمة القادمة. حسنا إذا أصدقائي أشكركم جزيلا الشكر على المتابعة، وأتمنى أن نلقاكم مرة مقبلة إن شاء الله في حلقة جديدة ومهمة جديدة في هيتمان 3. مع السلامة.